Politics is a very interesting game. And just like I keep on saying on this platform, that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. Everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve specific political objectives. Let me ask you a very simple question. Why do you think Gideon Moi has started drifting and positioning himself around Raila Amolo Odinga? Is it possible that Gideon Moi is already smelling power in Bondo? Because let's face the facts. If President Uhuru Kenyatta were to be given phonemes to pick from, the name of William Ruto, the name of Raila Odinga, the name of Musalia Mudavadi, and that of Gideon Moi, President Uhuru Kenyatta would easily pick on Gideon Moi as his preferred presidential candidate. But from all indications, Gideon Moi has started drifting towards Raila Amolo Odinga. Is it possible that he has been told that President Uhuru Kenyatta is likely to endorse Raila Amolo Odinga? In this video today, I want us to look at why Gideon Moi is drifting towards Raila Amolo Odinga and why he is positioning himself right in the middle of Raila Odinga's politics. But before we do that, if you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two and click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Now let us get back to business. In February, just a few days after the county assemblies had overwhelmingly voted for the Building Bridges Initiative process or bill, President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga held a meeting with the party leaders at State House. Those present at that meeting were Musalia Mudavadi, Kalonzo Musyoka, Gideon Moi, Moses Wetangula, and Charity Ngilu. And from the photos which were shared, it was clear that Raila Odinga was not a happy man. And I remember I did a video on this channel about Raila Odinga's body language. And I opined that Raila Odinga was not happy because President Uhuru Kenyatta was trying to take credit from Raila Odinga and spreading it to other party leaders for the success of the Building Bridges Initiative process, a burden which Raila Odinga actually carried on his back alone throughout the entire process. So Raila Odinga was not very happy. And from that moment, Raila Odinga went into silence. He was nowhere, to an extent that another meeting which was convened by President Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga never attended. In fact, Raila Odinga resurfaced. Instead of appearing at for the meeting, he resurfaced from a hospital, Nairobi hospital. But of course, Raila Odinga then became sick and was diagnosed with COVID. That was in February. And then politics again slowed down. Then in April, Gideon Moi, accompanied by Muhoho Kenyatta, who is the younger brother to President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is actually one of the key players around the president, visited Raila Amolo Odinga. That visit by Gideon Moi and Muhoho Kenyatta was also significant politically speaking. And that was the first time Gideon Moi started drifting towards Raila Amolo Odinga. Because you all remember that from February up to by the time Gideon Moi was visiting Raila Odinga, an alliance had actually emerged, the One Kenya Alliance. And this alliance tried everything possible to win the heart of President Uhuru Kenyatta. And when Gideon Moi and Muhoho Kenyatta visited Raila Amolo Odinga, it was clear that that alliance did not have the support maybe of the entire Kenyatta family. Then everything relaxed a bit. Then again, when President Uhuru Kenyatta visited Kisumu for the Madaraka Day celebration, Gideon Moi again visited Raila Amolo Odinga. This is what Raila Odinga posted over that visit. Let me just get for you what Raila Odinga posted on his official page on Madaraka Day. Raila Odinga is saying, hosted Friends Senator Gideon Moi, Ms. Lindiwe Sisulu, Minister of Human Settlement, Water and Sanitation of the Republic of South Africa, KANU Secretary General Nick Salat, and Honorable Paul Otuma for breakfast at home before heading for Madaraka Day celebration. Again, this meeting was not a coincidence. It was intended also to achieve certain political objectives. Because if you look at the people who attended this meeting, one of them is Paul Otuoma. Paul Otuoma of late has been playing a key role around President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga's politics. In fact, he's been hosting the president and Raila Odinga and their key allies at his residence in Nairobi. So his presence there is significant. And again, there is the presence of Nick Salat. Nick Salat is the KANU Secretary General, a close ally of Gideon Moi. So we don't know what was discussed during this meeting. And of course, there's the meeting of the South African minister. Of course, yeye ni shemeji ameolewa Bondo, so you can understand. But the presence of Gideon Moi and Paul Otuoma on this Madaraka Day at Raila Odinga's residence was not by coincidence. I am sure they discussed politics. And that brings us to the question, why do you think Gideon Moi is nowadays drifting closer to Raila Odinga than other NASA principles? Because remember, One Kenya Alliance was formed and Gideon Moi automatically became the face of that One Kenya Alliance movement. And I remember telling you guys that at one point, President Uhuru Kenyatta told the One Kenya Alliance movement to do one thing, to agree to follow Raila Odinga. Basically, Raila Odinga is going to be the leader, and then the rest will now, they will agree between themselves, between Mudavadi, Kalonzo, Weta, Gideon, who is going to be the running mate, who is going to be the prime minister. But of course, with the way things are, the Building Bridges Initiative process might not actually succeed, which means we might not have the prime minister, we might not have the two deputy prime ministers. So basically, they'll have to agree amongst them who will deputize Raila Odinga. But why do you think Gideon Moi has started drifting towards Raila Odinga? In my considered opinion, 4 reasons only. Number one, there is this Uhuru Kenyatta's endorsement. Now, those who followed President Uhuru Kenyatta's speech in Kisumu will agree that the president actually endorsed Raila Odinga for the presidency. There is no way the president can take a microphone the way Moi did and say that I'm going to support Raila Odinga for the presidency. But if you listen keenly to that speech, he sort of endorsed Raila Odinga. So I think because Gideon Moi is a close ally of president, so President Uhuru Kenyatta probably might have shared with him that, look here, my friend, 2022 is not for you. You can't succeed. Let us have a Mandela moment. Let us allow Raila Odinga win the presidency or support him. Then in 2027, Raila Odinga can then now decide to support you because you will be ready for the presidency. I'm saying this because I believe that there is no way Gideon Moi, if he was assured of the president's support, would start drifting more towards Raila Odinga. In fact, amongst the political players, apart from Ruto, the other person Gideon Moi would run away from most is actually Raila Odinga. But this is not happening. That's number one. Number two, there is the One Kenya Alliance. How serious is this alliance? This is a question which I'm certain Gideon Moi has been asking himself. Can One Kenya Alliance win the presidency? And can they even agree on the person they're likely to support in 2022? I am told, because sometimes we get to hear of these stories, I am told at one point, after Gideon Moi met with Raila Odinga, after Raila Odinga hosted Gideon Moi at Moho, the One Kenya Alliance went and convened another meeting with Gideon Moi. And I'm told Gideon Moi asked them a simple question, that for me, I've not declared that I'm going to run. All of you guys have declared you are going to run. So who is going to be the presidential candidate amongst you? And will you agree? So they were not able to even answer Gideon Moi on that. So the truth of the matter is that Gideon Moi has figured out that the One Kenya Alliance movement is not a serious alliance. Basically, all of them are just there to either oppose Raila Odinga or as a strategy to fight Raila Odinga, but not for the presidency. Number three, I think Gideon Moi is also trying so hard to position himself around Raila Odinga for a possibility of even being named a running mate, if not running mate, a prime minister, if not a prime minister, any other thing. Because let's face it, if Gideon Moi will not be a presidential candidate, he's likely to run as a senator for Baringo. In the last election, William Ruto did everything possible to stop Gideon Moi from succeeding, from becoming the senator again. But he managed to penya katikati. This time around, I don't think he might be lucky. But should he fail to be the senator for Baringo and Raila Odinga succeed in becoming the president, then automatically Gideon Moi will be appointed to senior cabinet position in this country. And I'm certain that's why he's positioning himself around Raila Odinga. Let's face it, can Gideon Moi become the running mate to Raila Odinga? He can become running mate to Raila Odinga only if we are going to have a new constitution, the Building Bridges Initiative process. But without the Building Bridges Initiative process, I'm certain Gideon Moi cannot be appointed a running mate. Raila Odinga would opt for someone else. But if you're going to have the BBI, then it means Raila can be the presidential candidate, then say Musalia Mudavadi or even Kalonzo Musyoka becoming the prime minister. And then Gideon Moi can complement by being a running mate. Or Musalia Mudavadi or even Kalonzo becoming the running mate, then Gideon Moi becoming a prime minister or a deputy prime minister. But remember, there's also the Joho factor, there's also the Oparanya factor, which means for them to succeed, you must work hard. And this is why Gideon Moi is working hard to move closer to Raila Odinga so that he can actually be considered. And lastly, which I think is the most important, is that Gideon Moi is looking into the future. He's well aware that 2022 might not be his, but he has a chance in 2027. If he's going to support Raila Odinga, then he's going to win the hearts of the Luo Nation, which means in future, the Luo Nation can return a favor to him. Because let's face it, Raila Odinga, just like Uhuru Kenyatta prefers Gideon Moi, Raila Odinga has a preference for Musalia Mudavadi. But Musalia Mudavadi is not seeing, Musalia Mudavadi is doing nothing about it. So which means because Musalia Mudavadi is not seeing and is doing nothing about it, in the future, Raila Odinga might decide if he's going to get enough support from Gideon Moi, he can decide to throw his weight behind Gideon Moi and nothing will stop him. Gideon Moi can support Raila Odinga in so many ways. The first way he can support Raila Odinga is finance. Gideon Moi has finance. Politics is a very expensive venture. So he can decide to invest this money in Raila Odinga in the hope that in 2022, Raila Odinga will also support him either with money or through moral support. Number two, Gideon Moi has the KANU structure. That KANU structure is going to be very important. There are regions in this country where Raila Odinga cannot perform well. You talk of West Pokot, you talk of Baringo, those areas. But if Gideon Moi will support him, then he can use, because in this country there are those people who will die with the KANU, those diehards of KANU. However small number they are, they can be directed by Gideon Moi to support Raila Odinga. And then in return, Gideon Moi would expect Raila Odinga also to support him. So Gideon can support him using his resources, the KANU structure, and then importantly, he also brings what I always call the perceptual value to Raila Odinga. If Gideon Moi can support Raila Odinga, even if he will not bring the votes, perceptionally outside there, he has a big name. So it will be assumed that Raila Odinga is being supported by the son to the former president. Gideon Moi, a big name from the Rift Valley. I don't know what you think, but I think Gideon Moi is clever, is wise, and he has smelled something that his leadership is headed to Bondo. So Gideon Moi is heading to Bondo, and people will find him in the kitchen already preparing the meal for the 2022 supper on that day. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day.